Y'all doing the Nate Jones story on YouTube. Y'all stay tuned for exclusive videos and exclusive giveaways. Y'all doing the Nate Jones story on YouTube right now.
What's up? Let's talk about it. Whew, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. So let's get this addressed. Right? I want to be clear. While they're spamming my PC yet again. Let's get this addressed because some people wanted to know. Welcome, everybody, from the Nate Jones story, Carcino for Life. How you doing? Don't forget, you could join the Nate Jones Stories membership by clicking the join button. You could donate to my Cash App, which is Carcino. And yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're messing up with the stream, everything. The fight went, like I said, when it was made, that Lamont Roach was definitely a person that could fight. And I gave a lot of respect to going into this fight. And then after the weigh-in, I told you exactly what I thought. That it was very alarming to me when Tank weighed in 2 pounds less than the limit. And Roach comes in, coming up from 130 to 135, and was the much bigger fighter and seemed to be equally as strong and could take the punches of Gervonta Davis. And Roach was brought up to be pretty much the lighter puncher. And because he was brought up to be the lighter puncher, so they thought, they were in for a rude awakening. That rude awakening came through and awoken them. Now, the way I see it is a little different from what everybody else is talking about now. I've already addressed the fight a number of times, but let's go into what everyone's discussing now, the aftermath. So if we're going through the aftermath of the bout, right? Let's go through the aftermath. And the aftermath is clear. When you make them mad enough, or you get someone upset, or put them in a discomforting position, you're compromising the foundation of what you're building. And once you do that, you've already put yourself in a lose-lose situation. Now, Gervonta Davis is somebody who's searching for excuses. And when you're out here searching for excuses for your performance, how the hell are you saying you won the fight? When you're out here literally searching for excuses. So now the New York State Athletic Committee blames a technical issue for Gervonta Davis' knee no call, and that the matter is under review. And the reason it's under review because the referee had a job, and that was to protect Tank Davis no matter what. I think there were a lot of questionable low blows thrown, dirty tactics by Gervonta Davis to buy time and get scolded by the referee. And he would throw a low blow to get a break. He would do anything to get a stoppage of time from the referee. The referee did an egregious job of taking care of one fighter. I don't know if Roach Corner did enough of telling the referee, telling him off. But I didn't see them talk to the ref at all. Now, as far as the overturning a decision, I've never really seen a decision turn from a win to a loss in probably hundreds of years. They'll turn it to a no contest. Which basically don't benefit either fighter. It benefits Gervonta Davis if it's changed to a no contest. Hell, I'd rather stick with the decision of a draw if it's not going to get overturned to a victory for me. I had it 8-4. I couldn't see Gervonta Davis winning more than 4 rounds. There was some swing rounds, but there's no way you could tell me he won 7 rounds in that fight. And without a knockdown, 7 rounds is what you would need to win a fight. It's the race to 7 rounds. In a 12-round fight, can you beat me more than 7 rounds? Or can you get to 7? 6 is a draw. Now, he's blaming hairdressers. Even the hairdresser put him on blast. How you going to blame what I did to your hair? I did your hair on Wednesday. The fight is on Saturday. You done had sparring since then. You done been in the gym. You have did interviews. You've done everything. So since Wednesday, since sparring, since doing everything you've been doing, she's like, damn, how much grease did I have? Did I use? Tank probably did something crazy to his hair, but that's a personal problem. We done seen Thomas Hearns with a Jerry curl. We done seen all these Tony Tucker, all these dudes that had Jerry curls in the ring and had curl activator juice going in their eyes and everything, which I don't know why you would have a Jerry curl and go in there and box. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But they were doing it. It was the style. They got to look good. And that curl and that juice and that sweat was flying around. People getting activators on their body. It was crazy. So now it was the grease got in my eye. But as you can clearly see, it was a punch that put him in that situation. Now, the Vet Athletic Committee is going to try to say we're looking into it. But overall, as you can see, the New York State Boxing Athletic Committee is not going to overturn something unless it was basically you tested dirty, then that would make them have to do it. Yes, he actually got hit with a jab right in his eye. Whether it scraped his eye or whatever, he actually did get hit in the eye with a left jab. So it was a punch to the eye that caused the knockdown, that caused the interference with his eye. It wasn't the doggone activator or the juice that he's blaming. The jab actually caught him in the eyeball. Whether he had a graze there or not, it was from a punch. Wasn't curl activator. That's why his eye kept burning. I saw it in real time. Now, They say the New York State Athletic Committee, the commission, is reviewing the matter involving Saturday's matchup between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. During the round in question, following the commission's request for the replay video, there was a technical issue preventing the commission from receiving it within the allotted time for review. So I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to reverse this decision. It's going to stay a draw, and they're going to do a rematch. That's just it. I've never seen them take a champion's title and say, here you go, and give it to somebody who was a 16-1 underdog to win the fight. 16-1. So you're going to tell me this guy was 16-1 chance of winning the fight, and you're going to let him win? No. The draw was 25-1. I should have bet the draw. And I normally do in these situations. I was just so preoccupied, I just forgot about it. But I normally do bet the draw, especially in a fight like this. Well, you're looking at a different situation than most people can imagine. Because if you don't basically look at it from another view or another lens point, you're going to always be stuck in this conundrum. Gervonta Tank Davis has to realize one or two things. He's going to have to realize whatever he's got going on, he's going to have to clear it up himself. And let me tell you what else is going on. Tank Davis is never going to work with Calvin Ford again for right now. Calvin Ford won't be there in the next fight. That I do know. He was looking for excuses. He blamed Calvin Ford for distracting him in the corner. He blaming Calvin Ford for everything. So whatever's going on with them is not good. Tank blew him off and walked away from him. He turned his back on him. All kind of craziness during the fight, after the fight. Like he didn't even want him there. All Calvin Ford was doing was trying to be there for him. Coming out to the podium by himself. Didn't come out with the team. Then he let them go speak first. Then he went after them, and then he didn't even leave with them. He left by himself, left his trainers, left everybody. Yeah. He waited an hour because, as I told you about Tank, when we did this, Tank is not, I repeat, not mentally stable. He's very insecure. And when you're insecure, we've been in the camp with him. We know exactly how Tank is in real life. Like most of y'all don't know. I knew he wasn't going to make weight in that camp, and he didn't. We knew that was the worst camp I had ever seen of a boxing fighter. And I just like, oh my God, like, where's your team? Like, why are you here? He was by himself in there, like this, even in his sparring. I'm like, he's on the undercard of a pay-per-view. Finna be the biggest pay-per-view probably in boxing, which it is. And he stunk it up. And I'm like, you let people see you like this? and he lost his belt on the scales. And he had to get disciplined. Well, it's like this. When you see yourself as the hero all the time, it's hard for people to see you as a villain. When you done seen yourself as the hero all this time. Well, you know, it's pretty hard nowadays. Yeah, I was in the gym with Nate a couple of days. No, he wasn't like Mark. Completely dehydrated, by the way.
He had that sauce in it.
Right.
And Cuban. A lot of them are French. Cuban are crap. He had that sauce in it.
The second one, the rematch. Now going into the rematch, I'm gonna tell you straight up. But
Perfect fight. Perfect performance. He showed the second.
been training for 5-6 weeks. It's hard to do that, but that's almost impossible in the sport of boxing for you to pull that miracle.
You get a little more experience, it'll be a tougher fight for him. You know what I'm saying? We get more experience. But right now, Tank Davis, it's kind of dangerous with that lack of.
But I don't think he catches Shakur with that left at all. Shakur gonna. Okay, I'm trying to get to where we talk about.
Keep stepping up to the plate. We'll see what happens in the future.
Yep.
His name is in there with the big guy.
Yep. And now Tank Davis got his fight coming up, and he's been doing a lot of advertising it, going against Roach, Lamont Roach. And now here's the situation with Lamont. I like Lamont. Lamont is cool with me. I ain't got no problem with Lamont. Oh, we thought somebody got shot. We were like, somebody got popped. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh, right. Somebody got popped.
No. Hold on.
I see something going up.
No.
Oh,
He went on.
oh, okay. What's up, bro?
He went on.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Tank Davis, and with the fight that he got coming up with Key, I mean, he got with Roach coming up. Everybody's talking about, Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn got coming up, and Keyshawn is the one that's going to take him down. And then, Shakur wants the fight. He's like, come on now. Everybody waiting on the fight. Let's just make the fight. So Tank came up with something that's the way to promote the fight, Lamont Roach. And he says, here's what we can do. He said, Shakur Stevenson should fight Keyshawn Davis, and then the winner fight me. So he want them. He don't want to fight. Keyshawn was like, look, man, I'm not chasing Tank. Tank don't want to fight. Now, I think both of them are bad fights for Tank. And the reason why I think both of them are bad fights for him is because they have the confidence to fight Tank. Shakur, Tank is going to try to take his mental out of the game, mentally confident. If Shakur Stevenson can have his hands taken care of, because his hands seem to be his main concern right now. If his hands is there, boxing IQ wise, Tank ain't gonna be able to catch him with that left all night. He gonna take that left away from Tank.
come back and knock out that fight.
Yeah.
And no thing it can't be Tank. It can be either one of them.
Yeah, it could. But I don't think he catches Shakur with that left at all. Shakur gonna take that away from Tank. Easy. I think it'd be easy for him to take it away. It's hard to catch him with.
It's gonna be hard to hit Shakur.
To catch Shakur flush like that, it's gonna be hard for you to do.
Yeah.
And then
So much fun with him too.
right. And then it's gonna be more difficult for him to really catch, because with Keyshawn, he gonna really have to focus on Key. Key gonna jump on him because Key is bigger, he's strong, just as strong as Tank. I think he's just as strong as Tank, but Tank is more heavy. His punches have got more. Yeah.
And then I think right now, you get a little more experience, it'll be a tougher fight for him.
Going forward, but I would love to see that fight. Key versus Tank, because Tank is thinking like outside the ring retirement already. He already thinking like 2 fights, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna go down in the hall. And Key was like, you ain't beat nobody. He's trying like, you ain't fought nobody in your weight class, you ain't fought nobody this and that, but it's a psychological game. And that's why he said, confident wise, he's like, Tank don't have it. He can see it, and a lot of other people see it too. And Lamont Roach said he see it. So Roach is seeing it too. Now, people saying, what about Lamont Roach? Lamont Roach has been with PBC for a while. And he's an off and on guy. Like one fight he be flat, and the next fight he sharp. And I'll be like, man, okay, this is Lamont. Like, Lamont can box. He's really good. Like, I've seen him be, like, good. Like, damn, okay, all right, I've seen him. Then in the next fight, I see him. So it's all about, right, exactly.
One performance.
Right, and it's like lackluster. And I'm like, what happened to the guy I saw it in the last fight? So with Roach, you don't know which one you're going to get. Is he focused? What he been working on? All the stuff he's been doing outside the ring? You know, so your discipline is 90% of it. If you don't have the discipline, you ain't gonna make it in this sport. Just ain't. You can't juggle 2 lives. Everybody want to be Floyd. They want to be flashy. They want to be on the camera. They want to do all these things, but then you got to do the other stuff too. Floyd gonna do that other stuff too. He gonna work out. He gonna get up at 5 a.m. and run. You ain't gonna do that. You gonna blow it off. So as you can see, we are quite familiar with Roach. We are quite familiar with Roach going into this. We both seen Roach and Tank since they were 10 years old. 10. Okay, so these guys are kids to us. They're kids. And now that they grown and they fighting, and everybody around the world gets to see him, we know the things y'all don't know. Tank's confidence comes once he's fighting, but he's not a confident fighter. Tank mind was all over the place because that's what comes with the job. Floyd Mayweather mind is all over the place.
Too much to the club.
Right. You gonna go to the club. Got to figure out Floyd to go to the club, but he's still gonna run at 5. Right. Floyd gonna go to the club and he gonna run at 5 in the morning. You ain't got to tell him nothing.
You gonna run before the club.
Right. He'll run before the club, run after it. You be like, damn, you putting in it. Yeah, he gonna put the work in. He ain't gonna drink. He ain't gonna do no drugs. No. Well, he gonna work. And you ain't gotta tell him to work. See, that's the difference. You ain't gotta, nobody gotta come in there and say, hey man, come on, get up.
No.
Yeah, come on, get up. We gotta go work.
You're not doing your no, waking you up. Come on, nigga, go win.
That's right. He gonna hit the road work. He gonna put that road in.
One thing about Floyd Mayweather, he sit on the road. Mm-hmm. His legs stay sharp. His condition was the most important thing about Floyd Mayweather. He was the best thing. He knew whatever he knew to win. Whatever it took to win, he was going to figure it out, and he was going to win. And that's how Floyd. He trained unlimitedly.
Yep. Now, this was before the weigh-in. So that's us talking about the fight right before the weigh-in, and I was exhausted too. So I came out there for you, Nate, because I was exhausted. I'm dehydrated. I'm everything in that video. Now, let's get to the facts. The facts of the matter is they almost never are going to replace a decision unless it's something really drastic. That's a technical decision. Now, you've heard fighters talk about this. You've heard all these people that have boxed saying that should have been a knockdown. So it's not coming from fans. Fans is like, whoa, what's going on? Normally you take a knee, that's a knockdown. You've had former world champions, Hall of Famers tell you that should have been a knockdown. There were numerous infractions that only fighters and people that know would know. You cannot come on that apron and wipe a fighter's face with a towel unless instructed to by the referee. You do not voluntarily go over there and tell your corner to get up on the apron and hand you a towel because your eye burning. This isn't the amateurs. In the fight, you hear the referee come over there and tell him, hey, you can't do that. You got to check with me first. He said, all right, okay, I'm going to give you this warning. Like, I'm going to give you this break. And the reason why is because, and they won't overturn this, the decision, is because it's by the discretion of the referee. The reason why it's not a penalty of the man coming on the apron is because of this discretion of the referee. When Roger Mayweather came into the ring and tried to grab Zab Judah, he risked a disqualification of Floyd Mayweather, and he was suspended for doing that. He was suspended and missed Mayweather's next fight. So, oh yeah, pretty much that was the consensus, the overall consensus of the whole scenario. Roger came in the ring. But it's under the discretion of the referee. Is he going to overturn the fight? Roger Mayweather could have got Floyd disqualified against Zab Judah in that 10th round. By him coming on the apron, it's an automatic disqualification. Eric Morales' brother lost the fight. He was totally dominating and knocked the guy down. He thought the trainer thought the fight was over. He came on the apron, came in the ring, and they disqualified his brother for coming in the ring. Again, it's the discretion of the referee. Now, if the referee said, I allowed him to come up because it was an infraction with the eye, it was my decision to let the cornerman come up. But next time he got to check with me. It's all due to the discretion of the understand that ruling. Okay, there they go. They're trying to sabotage City. All they know is one thing. I'm not lagging. That's them trying to sabotage me. Now, for what reason would they have to be sabotaging right now? Now, when it came down to the weigh-in and prediction,
forward, a tremendous, huge, massive event. What happens as
fight. Now, looking at the whole breakdown,
defends his world title again?
Same old, same old. I get the people what they want to see, man. Explosive knockouts and shit like that. That's what come with me. So that's what we'll see Saturday night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the champ, one of boxing's biggest stars, Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for your attendance. That concludes.
well, now, once again, me and Nate just did a breakdown telling you our prediction of the fight. Now, looking at the whole breakdown of the setup and how they got it at 135, very strict, 135, and Tank comes in at 133. He's definitely in shape for the fight. But was it a weight loss camp, or is he still a little rusty? We don't know, but the questions are more about Lamont Roach. Will he be able to weather the storm? Will Gary Russell Jr. or third, Antoine, whatever, will he win the title? I think he'll beat Venezuela and win a close decision. So he'll be the new champion over Venezuela, even though Venezuela's the better boxer. I think they're going to score the aggression of Gary Antoine Russell. And then he fights to the level of his opponent. But it depends. One match of Lamont Roach, he looks excellent. Like, man, you're like, man, well, I haven't heard of this guy. Well, where's this guy been? And then his next fight right after that is just lackluster. And like he had a bad camp or something. So you don't know which Lamont Roach you're going to get. But he does slack off in the middle rounds a lot in his fights, where he's not busy enough. He's watching his opponent. And I think that's what Tank is kind of banking on in this fight. But you got to remember, this is a fight where this is the biggest fight of his life. So he might come ready for that. And he definitely did. Tank won the middle rounds of the fight. Just like I called it, Tank Davis won the middle rounds of the fight. I repeat, Tank Davis won the middle rounds. He won rounds like 4, 5, and 6, and possibly 7. So the middle rounds was there. Now, this was after the weigh-in. Because, see, this is when I normally give my predictions, because I wanted to see the weigh-in. So the weigh-in was important to me because it's going to tell me what I could see from knowing in fights. Did he struggle to make weight? Did he go crazy in there and have a big weight loss camp? I know what to look for on the scale. Will he be able to weather the storm? Will Gary Russell Jr. or third, Venezuela, new champion over Venezuela? I think they're going to score the aggression of Gary. Lamont Roach being a front runner is he gets off to an early start in the match. He looked really good early. And then he fights to the level of his opponent. But it depends. One match of Lamont Roach, he looks out of his life. So he might come ready for that. And he might just do something, just fight, possibly. It's a possibility. Roach is the smaller guy by far, moving up in weight, but he's the naturally smaller guy. So we'll see, It's another fight that's going to make, like, if you do knock Roach out, everybody's going to say, okay, you knocked out Roach. Another small guy. When you going to fight the best guys in the division? You're making all these money fights, but where's the championship fights that the people want to see? Nobody asked for Roach. Nobody asked for Ryan Garcia. Nobody asked for Rolly. Nobody's asking for these people he's fighting. So that's going to echo a little louder. So we'll see what happens. So anyway. Now, not that night, but yeah, he actually is the smaller guy. He comes in. Tank is actually bigger than him and walked around bigger than him, but his frame is bigger than Tank's. So on fight night, he looked massive at 135. He might just campaign at 135. I think he shouldn't go back down to 130. And this is what I said. Tank was too small. He came in at 133 on the scales. That tells me he either overtrained or he was on a weight loss program. Normally, you appear at weight or it's close to it. And he made it and he looked comfortable making that, Lamont Roach. So he was at 135, like right on the nose. And Tank was at 133. So Tank seemed like he made a decision to come in lighter, which to me was crazy. You need to be as close to 135 as possible. So you either overtrained yourself to make sure you was light enough, but after the fight, of course, he had the excuse. Some things went down in training that he don't want to talk about. They're not going to take anything away from him. They're not going to change the decision. All this is smoke and mirrors by the commission to say, like, we investigated, we did our job. It's at the discretion of the referee. It's in the rule book. It's at the discretion of the referee. So if the referee called it, that's what it is. You know how many technicalities that's happened in a fight that people didn't seen and they did not go back and change any damn thing? They just have a rematch. Now, Tank Davis goes into this whole diatribe yesterday on Twitter and trying to get into this war of words with Roach because he's the one running around here trying to save face. He's the one going crazy. Roach just chilling. So if you won the fight, you're not carrying yourself as a person that won the fight. You're carrying yourself as an idiot. You're blaming your hairdresser. You're blaming everything except for the one person you need to blame, you. You the reason you lost that fight. Well, it's nuts. Mm-hmm. That's because when you keep trying to change the narratives, like you can see right here. Now watch how they try to change the narratives. Boom. Oh, boom. Jab, jab. Yep, look, he goes down. It's from a punch. Now, here we go again. Boom. Boom. Matter of fact, I could do you one even better. Let's go to the play speed, make it real slow for you. Lay it up, Sam. Boom. Slip. One jab right there. Two. Okay. Tank's going to put his guard up. Do a little peekaboo. Peekaboo. Here's the big right hand. Slip that. One jab. And here's the jab right here. The second one. Bam! Right on the eyeball. Yep. He looked to the ref. Damn, he got me on the eyeball. It's burning. And he think I just got my hair done. No, it went in my eye. Towel, towel, towel. And the ref calls timeout and tells him to go there. He was going to count. Then he goes to the time. See, he's trying to count. And he's telling the referee, I got something in my eye. This is my thing. And the referee's like, wait a minute, you didn't come to me. So he was still counting 4, 5. So the referee was counting. So he was counting as a knockout, period. And then somebody signaled to the referee, don't you count that? There's no knockout, nigga. And while he kept looking to the referee, he was getting his ass whooped. Didn't realize you're in a fight, homie. You're in a fight. And Lamont Roach whooped your ass. He knew your style. He knew how to beat you. And your punch output was low because you didn't have nothing to hit. And he came in there bigger than you and was ready for you. Stayed on your damn right leg. And then Tank said they took the fight from me and made it a draw. I did that bitch knee, but I landed the most punches in the fight. He didn't even hit me with a punch when I took the knee. I get it, though. I shouldn't have done that. But that hair grease was burning my eyes. Yeah, Kyrie was torn ACL. I mean, I hate this alarm. But yeah, torn ACL. And we called this when we talked about the Luka trade and we knocked on wood and we prayed when y'all tried to tell me. I was like, okay, well, who gonna close the games now? And y'all said Kyrie Irving, and I was like, Kyrie is up in age and he's injury prone, knock on wood, but so if you're going to go to Kyrie down the stretch of games, he's going to be your closer and you're going to give up Luka for that. Now you see now you see, right? This is what I'm talking about. And that's a sad thing, but I got information all about what's going on in Dallas now. It's a whole lot of stuff going on now. It's crazy as hell. They do this in the neighborhood a lot. Then they'll tell us that it's false alarm is a test. So anyway, let's get back to this. Now, after this, Lamont Roach said 2 judges gave you that round, bruh. If they scored a knockdown, I win by unanimous decision. Then he said, he comes right out. He says, say no more. I'm pushing for the rematch. Your bitch ass just happy you didn't get knocked out. Your dad was jumping up and down in the corner. Yet y'all made it to the 12th round. He said, the community note is crazy. That's smooth in GL. Oh my goodness. So they had this back and forth yesterday. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're new to the page. Join the membership if you're there for the Nate Jones story. You can hit join. Appreciate all the love and support. If you're on Carcino for Life, hit the like button. Now, as this was playing out, and he's like, the rematch can be soon, like the end of May. This is what Tank is saying. Now, you putting your foot in your mouth. Talking about the rematch could be soon, like the end of May. Like he's pushing for the rematch. You believe that? I'm pushing for this rematch. Then he said, fuck you mean? You pushing for the rematch. Nigga, my contract already signed except for the immediate rematch. Because you put that in there in case you lost. Only reason we don't fight is because you scared. Okay, so it's only a test. Finally, they stopped the sirens. Now, what if it's a real thing? We're going to all think it's a test. So Tank is trying to act like he's trying to get a rematch, right? For the casuals, right? So that if they see that, they know what time it is. They want all the casuals to see that, because if the fight don't happen, they're going to be like, well, he was pushing for the rematch. He said it. It's already there. He's like, but this is what happened. I can only blame myself. But say no more. This guy is faking. Say no more. I'm pushing for the rematch. Oh, yeah. You can see it right here. In the 11th round, this guy had it. Larry Hazard. His scorecard was crazy. But the knockdown changes the fight. Yes, I know it's a test. You told me 50 times already. It's a test. We get it. It's a test. So now that it's over, the person that's doing damage control, he said, at least you have one. My neighborhood doesn't. Yeah, they tell folks like us for some reason about all this. No. You're not going to win a title off of disqualification, off of overturn of the rules. It's not going to happen that way. They're just going to have to fight again because it's at the discretion of the referee. That's what most of these fighters should have told you. That's what most of these people should have said. It's at the discretion of the referee. The referee determines what happens in the ring, and they can supersede anything, even if they feel like it's an infraction. It's at the discretion of the referee. If he doesn't disqualify somebody from coming on the apron, just remember, Roger Mayweather came in that ring against Floyd Mayweather. He came in the ring and tried to attack Zab Judah, which led into the fight. So if that wasn't a disqualification, when clearly it should have been a disqualification. If you're scoring it technically by the rules, that's a disqualification. Floyd got hit with a low blow by Zab, and all hell broke loose. Right there, he hit him with a low blow. Right in the balls. Zab was being pressed. He felt Floyd coming on. He looked, he aimed, and then he took his shot and went low. With 20 seconds to go, he finna go load up and hit Floyd below the belt. And try to get Floyd off of him because he about to be stopped. Right here. He feel Floyd coming on. Zab feel like he's gonna be stopped at any time. He's looking, and there it is. He's gonna take his shot right there. Boom! He goes low, right to him. Then tried to hit him in the back of the head. Ugh. And once he took that cheap shot, yeah, I was at this fight. So I was there live. You see Roger come into the ring. They tried to grab Roger and tell him, don't do it. You're going to get Floyd disqualified. Now here come Roger into the ring. And it was like, Roger, you can't be in the ring. And he's trying to get at Zab. Now, Joel Judah is a third-degree black belt, Zab Judah's father. He comes into the ring. This almost started an East Coast, West Coast war. Y'all don't even know about that, how big this was. This is in Vegas at the Thomas and Mack Arena. It was so much going on, and that week, New York came there. This is the first time New York was this deep in the West Coast since Biggie died. And they had that on their mind when they got there. New York was wilding everywhere through Vegas. That they got a phone call after this fight. And people drove from all other parts of California to come up there and get down with these New Yorkers that was coming up there. They was like, dog, y'all ain't, this was Cali. We would have took y'all in Vegas wild. We'd have never let y'all wild like this in our town. And it wasn't just black brothers. It was white dudes from New York They would state what block they was from and what city. Bed-Stuy, Riverson, 33 Ave. They was nuts all throughout. They was just loud, just all over the damn place. It was the craziest thing I done seen that weekend. But Joel comes in there and whops Roger Mayweather immediately. Roger's falling into the ropes. He comes in and gives him a karate pop. And next thing you know, Zab falling to him, and he got Zab in the corner. And it started the brawl. Then Floyd homeboy coming in, he finna throw a punch. He trying to punch Joel Judah, and the whole brawl takes place in the ring. Now, you think somebody didn't get disqualified after this? They let the fight continue. They cleared everybody out the ring, and they let the fight continue. Floyd's just chilling in the corner. He resting. Everybody else is getting flipped around. The whole nine. Suge Knight was in the house. Yeah, Suge was there. So it was going up. Suge came past us. It was like, oh, there go Big Suge. Big Suge came past us after the fight, taking pictures. He was trying to get in the boxing game at the time. New York was wilding. So dudes from Sacktown after the fight drove all the way up there. Phone calls is made like, dude, these New York, because Zab Judah had all these New York people came from Brooklyn. They had like the whole section. Yo, Brooklyn, son. Yo, it's Brooklyn, niggas. That's right, nigga. We got this Mayweather, nigga. Yeah, man, East Coast, East Coast. They was losing their mind. I was like, dude, and they were there deep. There's a lot of people from New York came down into this fight. And it when Floyd won the fight, it was crazy because in the beginning, they were all rooting for Zab. Judah, Judah. That's all you heard from New York. That's right, baby. Brooklyn, Brooklyn it out. They were losing their mind. I think Usher lost a lot of money on Zab. It was crazy. It was crazy. And Big Suge came in there and made the dude get out of his seat. I don't even think that was Suge's seat. He just went in there like, get up. And the dude got up. He didn't give him no problems. So you see, there was no disqualification for that because it was up to the discretion of the referee. The referee has to decide what to do in that situation. Now, the referee saw them come up on the apron because you got to remember, this is two infractions that happened. Y'all talking about them taking a knee, but the biggest infraction that the fighters and people that know boxing know, that corner wasn't supposed to come up there and wipe his face unless the referee says, hey, you can come up here. The referee didn't say that. He already went there asking for the towel for them to come up. That's why nobody jumped up when he was, towel, I need a towel for my eye. Nobody was getting up on the apron because all of them know not to get up on the apron. So they didn't just jump up on the apron when he called. The referee came over there. And that's when the discussion happened. And he was still counting. He let that happen. And then after that, and he took him to a neutral corner. He told him, look, I'm allowed it to go, but you got to check with me first. You can't just go over to your corner. You can't turn your back and just take a knee and then run to your corner. The referee told him that in the ring. You can hear it and everything. I would play it, but I ain't trying to get copywritten. That shouldn't have been a disqualification because that's up to the discretion of the referee. But it should have been counted as a knockdown because he took a knee after a punch. A punch was landed. He actually didn't have chemicals going in his eye. He actually got burned by the actual punch. It hit him right on the eyeball and right on the tip. It grazed him. The glove actually grazed him, came over. So it probably burnt his eyelid. So it's going to burn. He think it's coming from his hair. The hairstylist said, I did your hair on Wednesday. It's Saturday. How much grease you think is in your head? You'd have sparred since then. No hair burning, no nothing. All of a sudden, it's going to burn now in that round. You have been sweating already. If your eye was going to burn from the sweat or the grease, it would have happened earlier in the fight. That would have happened early. You already in like round, what was that, round 7. You 7 rounds into the fight. It ain't going to happen right there. The reason why that eye particularly was burning is because the glove did that. That was investigated, and they declared it was by the discretion of the referee. That Roger Mayweather ended up getting suspended for like 6 months. His boxing license was suspended for coming into the ring. So he was not in the corner for the Baltimore fight, but he had to spend at least, like, I believe 6 months to a year away from boxing. Then he had to go before the Nevada State Athletic Committee, and they had to, he had to reapply. He did a hearing. That's how serious that was. So, but they were not. It's too much money on the line for them to call that fight a no contest or say disqualification. If you get disqualified or a fight's overturned, if somebody dropped dirty, that's the only reason they'd be like, hey, no contest. Like you seen with Ryan Garcia, they had to say no contest because he tested dirty. Oh, yeah, I've heard that remix everywhere. I got my hair done 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. That's why I say it's under the discretion. Boxing is one of the most corrupt, mob-ridden sports there is. There's no union. There's no boxing union. So the fighters can get treated however they want. Everybody who tried to get a boxing union ended up dead, crazy, and shot and insane. It's not happening. Fighters got to pay out of pocket for everything. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it works. The referee can be at fault. I've seen referees work with a fighter so much they help cut off the ring. And the guy be like, move, 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 telling the ref to move. The ref can get in the way and block the lane like he's watching the fight, but he's actually helping the other fighter keep you in the box so that y'all can engage into a fight. Dude, there's so much dirty stuff we didn't see referees do. It is crazy, man. You would blow your mind. So on my Patreon today, what we're definitely going to do is I'm going to give you some of my lock picks for tonight. Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you my lock picks. Mayweather is actually an East Coast guy. No, he's a Midwest guy, but no. But I know, but they consider Floyd West Coast. The West Coast people out there consider Floyd West Coast, especially going up against Zab. It was like, it's West Coast versus East Coast. And when that fight happened in the ring, it was going to be a West Coast, East Coast war in that ring. They didn't like how East Coast was acting the whole weekend. It was a fight. Young Buck and Game, I think, got into a fight at the club, at the Ice Bar, the same night. So you had West Coast, East Coast, same night. It's the same night. Stephen A. Smith was there. All of this stuff happened. The Ice Bar is right across the street from my hotel. So I was right there at the Ice Bar. I'm like, man, they were then in the parking lot. You see Game hollering at Young Buck and other people and everything. They was having words. It was crazy. Again, East Coast, what a good. Young Buck ain't East Coast, but he from New Orleans. Well, he from Tennessee, Cashville, but still, he signed with 50, so it's like East versus West. So now they was messing with the game. So it's like, oh, now they messing with the game. All of this is in Vegas, so people in Cali hearing it. Sacktown, they drove up. Sacktown was there, and they was like, we hitting Vegas. Everybody coming to Vegas. That's it. We all meeting in Vegas, and we going to run these East Coast dudes right out of town. We running them out of Vegas. We getting them. They better take their ass to the East Coast. We got to let them know we ain't playing. The East Coast dudes, they was whooping people's ass at the hotels, getting barred. It was wild. The women were wild. The women were wild. The women was in there fighting too. Yeah, that's right. I got that. Yeah, that's right. East Coast. Yeah. I'm like, shit, these women are wild. It was nuts. Right, white dudes. White dudes was out there going crazy. He was ready to fight about 5-6 security. One white dude from New York. Bensonhurst. One white dude ready to rumble with, man, it's like about 5-6 of the MGM's finest. They ready to crack his skull. His woman is still like, let's just go, baby. He's standing there like, y'all ain't tough. He's about, I say in size, he's about probably 5'8", 5'9", maybe 5'8". Oversized white guy from New York. He got the hat where it says NY with some rhinestones. It's cocked to a side. He got on a black shirt. He's standing there, and it's like this big brother who's about 6'5", 240. It's about a line of them. They got him out there. His girl's like, girl, like, let's just go, baby. She's trying to push him. He's just standing there, like, look, staring him down. Y'all ain't tough. I swear to God, y'all ain't tough. I will drop every last one of you. So white guy. I'm like, man, this is crazy as hell. I had a picture of that. Oh my, it wasn't. I had like this little camera thing, man, and I was taking like little pictures with it. Man, I don't know what happened with that. Damn. But man, I had those pictures. And if I could find it, man, that was the craziest time ever. Because I had Suge Knight. I got photos from that night. But that brawl, man, was something else. That was incredible. Cali dudes don't come out their comfort zone. Yeah, Sacktown came down there, and they was ready to run these dudes out. They was like, yeah, we heard New York was wilding up here, bro. But they was on some chill. They was there gambling, relaxed, but they was ready for the funk. You know, like they ready for it to kick off. Like they sit there organized. And they gonna have their fun with their drinks. But they had me because I had my suit on. They was like, come on, man, double-breasted. They kept calling me double-breasted because the suit I had on. My man up here in a double-breasted suit. Go ahead, double-breasted. So 78 Sports TV. Don't forget to follow him too. Mm-hmm. 78 covered the whole thing the way it was supposed to be. And that was that. Yeah, I was on his page and we started talking about the fight. He allowed me up on his page. Good brother. Him and blood boxing, like we go all the way back. And this was before it was really a thing on YouTube. Like, you know, this is what we did.
If you want me. He said Tank called out Soul Glue. Man, it's just sad, bro. This is, you know what's sad about this is that, man, Tank. I mean, I'm happy that Lamont Roach was the one that exposed him. At least it was his brother who exposed him. But the thing is, I can't believe Tank sat here and hold on one second. What's happening with his show?
What's good?
Oh, chilling, fam. Chilling, talking about this boxing, man. What's your thoughts on the fight, man?
Oh, it was excellent game plan. He took advantage of all the disadvantages that Tank has, and he's fought Tank before, and it's sparred him. I've seen Lamont Roach fight his entire life. I've seen Tank fight in the amateurs and his pro. He actually was in a training camp with us, so in the Mayweather gym. And this is when Mayweather was fighting Conor McGregor, and he was on the undercard. And he had the worst performance of his life to a guy who they just flew in and supposed to make him look good. And he struggled, went to distance with that guy. He had a terrible camp. He was in there, and there was no Calvin Ford, nobody. He was training by himself. Nate Jones came over and was like, man, like, where's everybody at? Why are you in by yourself? You on the undercard of the biggest pay-per-view fight. Why are you in here training by yourself? And he's like, I'm just in here to get some spar. He was so off balance for that fight and so undisciplined. Like when he was there, he was like, dog, you just got through sparring and you're not gonna do nothing to warm up. He was like, he's just sitting on the side. He's like, no, dude, start jump roping. Nate got him over there. He's like, let me work with you, man. And start coming over there and working with him. So he can, like, you got to stay active. Like, what is you doing? I was like, dude, he ain't going to make weight. And sure enough, he did. And he lost his belt. And, going into that fight, he lost it on the scales. So we know about Tank and his mental approach to the fight. He's not a mentally confident guy. Right. And I tried to tell people this. Look, my Roach saw it, and I said it in my breakdown leading up to the fight for the prediction of the fight. Everybody, Keyshawn see it. Lamont know it. Tank is not confident at all. He looks for confidence.
Right.
He tries to go and see if there's anything in you. He talk crazy to you to try to see if there's anything in you that he could use to get confidence going into the
Mike
fight.
Tyson style.
He's nervous. Yeah, he's real nervous going into a ring. But with Tank, he has been fed just like PBC has done. And this is my whole complaint with them. You spoon feed these guys a whole bunch of tailor-made fights. And then they get in the real world and they get smoked. Same thing with Errol. And I knew what is going to happen to Errol. And everybody thought I was a genius. I said, no, it's not about that. It's not about the car accident. He's fed a certain type of fighters because they already knew what I knew. And this is the same scenario. The problem with Tank Davis is that this type of fight that Lamont did, he based it off what Lamont was for about 4 or 5 years ago. Lamont Roach is a guy that looks like he looked last night. And then you have the Lamont Roach that's subpar, that won't let his hands go. And you're like, where's the guy I just saw?
Right.
With all this talent. So he's a one night on, one night off guy. And you just don't know which Lamont Roach you was going to get. Plus, he never really had that push. But for this fight, he was going to step it up. I knew he was going to do his best. This is the biggest stage he's ever been on. Because he fought Jamel Herring. And I felt like, he was giving Jamel some work. And that was a fight he probably, takes that in any other type of situation. But watching the strategy and how it went down, the game plan was clear because they fought Tank before. Tank's style hasn't really changed. If you stay on his right foot, stay on his right side, make him have to reach. You taking away that straight left. You taking away, you making Tank have to reach. He's the shorter man. Even though he moved up in weight, Roach is bigger frame-wise than Tank.
Right.
Tank got to reach him. And when he couldn't reach him, he was reaching out to try to get him. He stayed on the right hand, stayed tight. Don't give him anything to hit. Control him with feints. And he kept feinting him to keep him frozen right in front of him. Like he don't know what's coming or when it's coming.
Right.
So now it opens up, and then the left hook is going to be there. And I was calling, I said, the left hook is going to be there. Tank's going to open up and try to throw a combination, and he's wide open for the left hook every time. And I was like, he was just missing it. But I was like, if you time this just right, it's going to be there. And as the fight went on and Tank stopped using, he wasted a lot of energy running around the ring. Roach stayed composed, like, I'm not going to chase you. I'm going to take slight steps. Let you do all that, exert yourself running around the ring, clowning, because he's caring about what everybody outside the ring is thinking. Tank is thinking about entertaining, doing all this silliness in the ring.
Right.
He was getting clipped. And then he got hurt while he was celebrating, and he was buzzed. He got
I seen him get buzzed a couple times. But let me go to Steve. I'm gonna come back to you. Stephen the Mac. What's happening, bro?
What's going on? Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday.
Hey, you too, brother.
So as you can see, I gave a consensus breakdown of what was happening during the fight. And as you can see on this panel, a lot of people agreed with what was happening. So a lot of casual fans who watched the fight, they can even tell Lamont Roach won the fight, even those who was rooting for Tank. There's an automatic rematch clause in there that Tank Davis can exercise. It's already signed for. So when you say you pushing for the rematch, all you got to do is exercise your right for the rematch. It's right there in writing. He's already signed the rematch. So all this dressing this up in public is for what? That's for you pandering to the audience because you're not going to fight him next. You're going to move on and fight somebody else. Now, how would I do this if I was Tank Davis or somebody else, right? Somebody was like, well, how would you handle it, Cino? I would handle it just like this. You have two sides. You have the boxing side, and then you have the boxing side of you, and you have the business side. If I'm in the business side of it, I'm trying to go do a fight with Lomachenko. Okay? So if you want to be on the business side of this thing, Lomachenko is the fight for you. Right? You take Lomo. Why? Because that's the business fight. That's the one that's going to get you paid. That's the fight that's going to matter in the end. Right? You're going to make all your money there and be happy and proud. Why? Because this is what the people want. They want to see you in this zone. They don't want to see you doing nothing else but this. But now Lamont Roach deserves his rematch. And he was like, oh, we could do that later. Like, let him go fight somebody else. And he hoping somebody else is that Shakur Stevenson fight. Stevenson said, I will fight you next. You will be my next fight. Now, if you don't fight Roach again, which I think if he fights Roach again, Roach will get the decision. He damn sure won't be no 16-1 underdog. And if he fights Roach and it's close, Roach will get the decision. So he put himself in a catch-22. But by it being a business fight, what's going to end up happening is that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be at a crossroads. And I think he's going to come in there and try to fight one of these dudes. There's like, he's going to fight Jake Paul next. If he fights Jake Paul, they are never going to respect him. All his respect was lost. It only takes one fight, one moment, and they all go flushing down the toilet. But nobody likes to listen to reason because they know the casual fans just want to see knockouts. If you look at his resume, it's not a very good resume whatsoever. He's fighting setups, you know. Lightweights, small guys, you know, really small guys. They're like, well, he fights at 130. What are you supposed to do? You're fighting guys that was fighting at 118, 120. Why are you not fighting the best or the number one guys in your division? I mean, they got the belts. You're supposed to fight them. They're all fighting each other, 1 and 2, and you're not fighting any of them. You're fighting basically some other guy that don't nobody really know until they fight you. Or if they did, there's some type of stipulation or some manufacturing going on behind the scenes. Tank Davis' resume has always been in question. So when he talk about Hall of Fame, and this is why casuals walk around like, Tank is that guy. Tank can knock you out. Yes, he hits like a middleweight. He got power. But power don't automatically win fights. You got people that can deal with your power, and then they got pop too. Can you take what they got? And they can take what you got and dish it out, or you can't get off on them the way you want. Like, this ain't Frank Martin. This ain't somebody who's like, the lights are too bright and they're not experienced enough. You know, Frank Martin, a lot of people saw him fight for the first time that night. A lot of y'all saw Lamont Roach for the first time that night. Lamont was supposed to be another Frank Martin. He wasn't. They was like, see, we told y'all about Lamont. Y'all said this wasn't a good fight. See, that ain't what y'all wanted to see. Y'all wanted to feed Lamont. He was supposed to be food for Tank. But this was some food that was bad for Tank because he took it very serious. And me watching Lamont, I've already said, you either going to get one that's on or you're going to get one that's off. Tank talking crazy. He'll be over there begging the Sheik for money when it's all said and done. When his career is over and it's all said and done, he's going to be over there begging the Sheik. Come on, Sheik. Sheik, look. I could do the Dexter wiggle. It is Lamont Roach fought Tank in the amateurs. They fought, they've been knowing each other since they was about 10. Because they fought in the same tournaments. He know his mama, they know, like, that's why Tank, like, I was going to talk to them, but I can't say that in front of your moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tank is really, respectful in a sense. He talk crazy on the internet because he's trying to promote, sell something. But other than that, he ain't no real super crazy dude unless somebody getting really super crazy with them. Now, he do come from craziness. You know what I'm saying? Like, Baltimore ain't no joke. Right? It just ain't. Well, everybody's got an opinion. That's why they called opinions. Everybody's got them.
And like I said, throughout the whole fight, he was rocking Tank. Tank, I think the third or fourth round, that's when he got that first, he hit him, he made him stumble back. He want to laugh it off and stuff like that, but it hurt. And then there was another time he was talking to the crowd or something like that. Lamont caught him again. Bat, hit him in his face. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't see Tank winning no rounds, bro. Like, he never really active in the fight, to be honest. He barely did the peekaboo thing, but when he was doing the peekaboo thing, it wasn't working to his advantage. And that whole knee situation, bro, come on, man. You know how I feel. Like, bro, your knee and your glove hit the canvas. But Steven, he started counting, but he stopped counting. Like, why? And then when he was like, they asked him, like, what was y'all saying in the ring? He told Lamont Rose that they're not going to give you the win. So it was like, it was already set in stone for Tank already to win. But, yeah, man, he got to do something. He got to do something because, like I say, Shakur come with the smoke. Dev go come with the smoke, too. And y'all know how I feel about Shakur. Shakur beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to never change that. Just like Bud go beat everybody, too. That ain't going to never change with me. He's probably beat a little Tank. And hold on, wait, I'm not done. I see why Tank don't want that Cambosis smoke. I'm going ham all day, bro. Lomachenko beat Tank the F up. Cambosis will beat Tank the F up. And I always said Teofimo Lopez had a kind of good chance with it because Teofimo Lopez got a kind of good style, But, bro, F Tank, bro. All these dudes' names, they're smashing the pieces. What they say in the UK, smashing the bits. You know what I'm saying? He better get out. He better stay out of Cambosis' inbox, bro, for real. But I'm done, bro. That's my little assessment. You know me.
Hey, for sure. Salute to Stephen L. Hey, Headbuster 606. Matter of fact, let me go to the super chat real quick. Rod Neal in the super chat. Appreciate the love, fam. Says Tank wants to rematch Pitbull Cruz, but not Roach. And
nope.
Wow. Let me see what else we got here.
That's his MO. That is his MO. Have you noticed during the whole promotion, he talked about every other fighter except for the guy who was in front of him.
Mm-hmm. S.V. Hot. S.V. that he hot in the super chat. Appreciate the love. Says they keep catfishing us with Tank fights. Maybe I told Lerone in the super chat with the 5-piece. Thank you, sir. Says, man, ninjas back then were fighting with glow jerry curls and had no excuses. Facts. Yeah, them cats had jerry curls back in the day. All kinds of jerry curls.
I'm glad the real boxing media is up in here. It was like people like showbiz.
But not, to be fair though, that dude be acting crazy. But not just showbiz. A lot of people did. I mean, because that's Tank. That's what Tank known for, and you know they compared it to Jamel Herring, and it's like, why give this dude a chance? Because you see what Shakur did to Jamel Herring, so. Just like I think either Blue Blood or BFTB said it, like that triangle theory don't work. Like just or it's either the boxing voice. Somebody said it. Get in there and fight somebody. Don't just use that as an excuse. This person beat this person, so you ain't got to fight him.
And then I don't know if y'all watched the post fight. You know what I'm saying? The Coach Calvin and Barry Hunter, bro. They's making up all these excuses for Tank, bro. He wasn't focused. He's in the 12th round, thinking it was the 4th round.
But whose fault is that? That's
thank you. Whose fault is that?
Right. And Tate said something about that in he said, I gotta do something with we gotta work on something in the corner. Yeah. You got all these minds. Somebody gotta keep track of the rounds and tell them.
Yep.
That's a bunch of cap anyway, man.
And then 7, you know, I'll be on Facebook going at it with these people. They talking about this hair. I'm like, bro, this ain't Tank's first time having braided hair in the fight, bro. Yeah. And I'll ask them, I was like, don't they grease your forehead and stuff up before you out to a fight? It was like, no, hair grease and face grease different, bro. I used to box, bro. Grease is grease. Yeah. That, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Gervonta in the super chat. Appreciate it, Gervonta.
Dude, they cut Paulie Malignaggi hair in the middle of a fight. Now, no, that's 78 Sports TV. Now, back to this subject at hand. Gervonta Tank Davis knew one or two things. They love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. But let's take a look and be realistic. Okay? Let's go through his box rec. Right? Let's go since he beat Jose Pedraza and got on the map and won the super featherweight title. Then he fought Leland Walsh, right? He went and beat Leland Walsh, who was an easy fight for him, who was a 21-0, basically unknown, beat him. Then he fought Francisco Fonseca, who was 19-0. Nobody knew him, who Francisco Fonseca was. And that was 19-0, who flew in from overseas, and he lost the title. And this is the camp. I was in his camp for this one, Francisco Fonseca. And he trained at the Mayweather gym for that fight. He didn't make weight, and he won. And they gave him like a knockout for that, but it really wasn't. That guy was actually whooping his ass. Then he fought Celiar, and Celiar is a smaller guy, moved up in weight, and he was done. And that was that. Hugo Ruiz, who is this? 39-4. 39-4. Yeah, let me put that on there so y'all can see it. And we can go along together and watch it. Okay, so y'all won't be lost in the sauce. Let me see if this is blowing up. Can make it bigger for you so y'all can see it. Yeah, I think y'all can see it now. Let me take myself off the screen. And it should flow like behavior here. Freezing up my page. The whole nine. Now, let's take a look. Now, after he beats Hugo Ruiz, who's 39-4, he goes to Ricardo Nunes, who's 21-2. And we're like, who? Who are these people? I watch boxing and don't know these damn people. Then he fought Gamboa, who's like over the hill. He's like 50, a 50-year-old Gamboa who was knocked down 3 times in the fight, wobbled about 17 times in the fight, and you went 12 rounds with him in Atlanta. Then he fought Lelo Santa Cruz, who came up 2 weight classes. Okay, he was 37-1-1. Yep, so he beat Lelo Santa Cruz, a guy who couldn't hurt him even if he tried. Then he fought Mario Barrios, right? His first real tough fight. Mario Barrios was 26-0, but he couldn't make the weight anymore. He was killing himself to make that weight. He's going up in weight. Last fight at this weight class. So clearly, it was a close fight. Barrios went down in the 8th and the 11th. Barrios got a cut in the 8th round, and he's just pretty much not at that weight class. But give him credit, that's a tough fight, but still not the best in the division. Isaac Cruz, Pitbull Cruz, 22-1-1. He made such a good following, people thought he won. Isaac Cruz won the fight because he ran all night. Then after Cruz, everybody wanted to see the rematch with Cruz. We didn't get the rematch with Cruz. What did we get? Rolly Romero, who's 14-0, never has one notable win under his belt. Not one. He was 14-0 manufactured. They made it a pay-per-view, and the fight was over in 6 rounds. Hector Luis Garcia, 16-0. Hector Luis Garcia, 16-0. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Again, beating nobodies. Ryan Garcia, YouTube fighter. Now he's got this 23-0 guy, Ryan Garcia, with a name. Again, a guy who can't make the weight. Last fight at this weight class because he can't make it. Can't make 35 no more. But they took advantage of it, knocked out the YouTuber. Then who? Frank Martin. Who the hell is Frank Martin beat? Where did he come from? He was 18-0 with no credible win to his name. And instead of fighting the best, he's fighting the rest. And y'all kept giving him passes, all these pay-per-view fights. Then he fight Lamont Roach, who's the 130-pound champion at 135. He was meant to be some more Tank Davis food that the PBC keeps providing. Don't think they just do it for Tank. Oh, no. They don't just do that for Tank. Come on now. This is the PBC. They do that for all their fighters. All of them. He said, go back and check Frank Martin's records. That's where you're wrong. Top rank build fighters up, and they build them up the right way. And when you get them to the level, Top Rank put them in there. That's why those fighters always win. That's why a PBC fighter fights a Top Rank fighter. PBC fighter get their ass whooped. That's what's been happening. Now, because there's one thing about developing fighters and then just trying to manufacture fighters, manufacture champions. It's like LeBron James, manufactured. Appreciate the love and support, but it doesn't work that way. No, you have to make tough decisions. And once you start making the hard, tough decisions, then you'll start to see where it matters and don't matter. I disagree with that score, John. I did not give Tank that many rounds. I could not see Tank winning 7 rounds in this fight at all. Even when he let his hands go, he was getting tagged. All the clean shots were being landed by Lamont Roach. And the problem in this situation that we keep seeing over and over again is a constant. And the constant is when you have a relatively denomination of most people don't know what's a scoring blow in boxing. The head and the body. That's it. That's the only place you get points, is the head and the body. You could punch someone in the arm, it doesn't count as a scoring blow. It's not a scoring punch. And every punch isn't the same punch. It's not scored that way. Somebody hit you with a right cross and somebody else return you with a strong jab. It's up to the discretion of the judges on what punch was more effective. Some punch could hit the glove and then hit somebody. And like amateurs, that's not really counted. But in the pros, somebody might just count that as a punch. The announcers of today, most of them have no knowledge of boxing, nor the rules or anything. So if somebody's just punching and they just give credit to anybody throwing their hands. Oh, look at that hill. He lands a hook, another hook, another hook. So if you're the casual watching it at home, you think that guy's killing. Oh, man, look, he's just landing hooks after hooks. Guy just said it, man, that's a great left hook. It was not a good left hook. It was a bad one. He just got caught by the glove. It's not a scoring blow at all. But the actual person just doesn't know these things. So they continuously go along with what the announcers are there. They're there to be entertaining. That guy, he's there to say, Mamma Mia! That's, he's a former UFC guy, MMA. So they got him because he keeps people hyped. And since there's no union in boxing, stuff like this is going to continue to happen, where the house fighter is going to get the calls. It's just the way it is. So until there's a rematch, and they might rematch down the road, but I don't see it happening right away. I don't see that being Tank's next fight, even though it should be, and the people should stay on his ass. Because if he takes another one of these duck fights, it's duck, duck, goose. Now let's go look at what he said for Frank Martin. He said, let's look up Frank Martin's record. Okay. Dog, it's time to retire, Pablo. Then he moved up to a guy that was 10-4. Then a guy who was 12-12. Okay, this guy is now 13-0. Then Ryan Kozeski was 30-5. Romero Duno, who's now 24-2. We beat Duno. And Jackson Martinez, who's 19-2. Then Michael Rivera, 24-0. Artem was 12-0. And then he fought Tank. So he fought his last 2-3 fights. Right? Now, Frank is just very inexperienced. He's only really had 3 really tough matchups that really wasn't that tough, but Artem was probably the toughest guy he was going to fight, the Armenian guy. But other than that, he's inexperienced. Michael Rivera, no. Jackson Martinez, no. But compared to Tank, those are compatible people. But this is what I tried to tell y'all before. Now, let's go to Errol Spence Jr. Now, all right, let's go here. Errol, Bud Crawford, 2 years ago. Ugas, right? He had just beat Manny Pacquiao, tough fight. Ugas. Danny Garcia, 140-pound fighter. Sean Porter, right? A slobber knocker. He lost that fight, really. Mikey Garcia, 130-pound fighter. Carlos Ocampo, where did they find him? 22-0, no notable fight to this day. Let's just see what his record is now. He's suspended by that Mexico. Now he's 37-3. 2 losses by knockout. He lost to Tim Tszyu. And he lost to Fundora. And then he lost to Errol Spence Jr. Now, as you can see, He lost to the 3 PBC guys they fed him to. All right. Now that that's done, Lamont Peterson. Peterson was on his last leg, and they fed him to Errol Spence. Again, 135-pound, 140-pound fighter. Kell Brook, who had to come back down and weight, and they paid him money to defend his title, and he took the money. He hurt Errol in this, but he was weight drained into this fight. Never fought at the weight class again. To years later. Leonard Bundu. Okay. No. Chris Algieri, the strength and conditioning coach, who they threw in the ring against Manny Pacquiao. Only other loss, right? Let's look at his resume. I gotta log in to continue. Are they serious? Damn, you can't even see his record. Okay. Alejandro Barrera, 26-2. Chris Van Heerden, 23-1. Phil O'Greco, 26-1. Samuel Vargas, 20-1. These manufactured records, they build these palookas up to get knocked out. Okay, so he got huff and puff and nothing but small guys. You see, Errol started his career out at 54. Errol started getting his bell rung when he was at 54, and they said, man, we got to drop him down to 47. So he started fighting at welterweight instead of 154 because those guys were too big for Errol at 154. So to put him at 47, and they kept feeding him little guys, moving him up to welterweight. So they can't hurt Errol, and he'll just walk right through him. And y'all think he the next greatest, best thing in the world. And I'm just like, you guys just don't know what's happening here. This guy is limited. And then his whole reputation came from sparring. He beat up Mayweather in sparring. We know what happened in sparring. I was like, I told you what happened in the Mayweather camp. He knocked out Adrian Broner in sparring. Those are his biggest notoriety and fame came off of 2 sparring sessions. That's it. 2 sparring sessions. See, we just explained what happened in the Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook came off a broken orbital bone. He didn't even get a chance to heal against Triple G. He went up to middleweight to fight Triple G, came back down to 147 pounds. And what happened? The fight didn't go his way because he got his orbital bone broken on the other side because it didn't heal properly. So the other side broke. They didn't want Errol to fight for a vacant title. They wanted him to beat Kell for it. So they let Kell have it in his hometown of Sheffield, England, and they put Kell Brook in a situation that he was fighting just for the money. He couldn't turn it down. So they basically was buying the title off of him. And he still rocked. He still rocked Errol. At the end of the day, we're gonna see. The cream always rises to the top. So on that note, I'm out. Don't forget, support the Nate Jones story, Carcino for Life. My Patreon is Carcino for Life. I gave y'all some of my winning picks for today. So that ought to hit hard. I'm out.